Yo guys, how's it going? Today we're gonna be doing my first mock draft of the year. Obviously we haven't given out one. This was after the Senior Bowl, after the season. It is the Tuesday after the Super Bowl, so I decided, you know what? I decided I'm just gonna do my mock draft, and we're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so first of all, I would like to start. This is just what I think right now. Um, and obviously this is going to change a lot. Me and Devin are going to do a collaborative one. I just decided to throw my first one up there. He isn't quite ready to do his right away. Hours together, really. So we're going to start off with the first one. And I'm going to make this one pretty quick. We're not going to do it long. So first of all, with the first pick, I think the Jaguars have to build around Trevor Lawrence. I think, they're not ready to commit right away, so and they have a lot of holes. So I think what the best is here is to take the best offensive tackle, which is Evan Neal. Protect your quarterback, let him develop, and really see what you have with him. I think that's fair. With the second overall pick, I'm going to take Aiden Hutchinson to the Lions. I think it just makes too much sense. I love Aiden Hutchinson. He's such a good prospect, and I think with the issues that we've been seeing with Kayvon Thibodeau, I think it's appropriate. Now here's an interesting pick. I think that the Texans have so many holes. I personally think that what they should do is to take the best player available, and to me, that's Kyle Hamilton. I think he's the best player in the draft. He's so good. He covers the whole field at safety. He easily tops the safety class, and after that, it's a big fall off. I think it's a massive need for them. I think Kyle Hamilton could change their defense for the long haul. He's a ball hockey play all over the place. So Kyle Hamilton, I think is an easy pick. I don't think they can go wrong. I mean, they could go Thibodeau, of course. They could go Stingley, but I don't think that Stingley goes. I think it's a little early for Stingley. If you want Stingley, I would trade down a little bit. I just think you have to go best player available, and that's Kyle Hamilton for me. Now the Jets here. The Jets have a couple options. They could go Thibodeau, okay, but with their next pick being at 10, and a lot of these teams here in the middle pack need offensive tackle, I think they're gonna go. Offensive tackle. Akeem Iwonu, I think he's the second best tackle easily. You could argue he's the best tackle. He people have said that he has very light feet, very strong at the position. I think he's a future tackle for them. I think he makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna take him over Thibodeau because the edge class is a little bit better for me. And here, this one's interesting. So the Giants have the same decision. Now they could take tackle, obviously, right? And Charles Cross or Trevor Penning. Or they can go edge and take Thibodeau. And the way I'm looking at it, I'm going to say they're going to take Thibodeau. I think he's so talented. The question is if you're going to be able to, keep him motivated, use that motor all the time. He needs to be able to do those type of things. So if they can work with that, I think Thibodeau is a great pick. He's uber talented, but he also obviously has had some off the field, not really off the field, but motor issues, commitment issues, stuff like that. So, but then here with Carolina, this is a quarterback. This is possible for quarterback, but I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of this quarterback draft. People have loved the ability of Malik Willis, but he's very high potential, but he's could be a bust. Kenny Pickett, he's good. But he doesn't splash all. He doesn't cover all the bases. Not I would commit everything for Kenny Pickett. Corral is scary for me because he's very talented, but he was in a one read system. He has to read one guy, and then that's really it. And that's what he was at Ole Miss. So that's a little concerning. Obviously Ritter, inaccuracy at times, has to be in the right scheme. Sam Howell's my favorite quarterback. I think that he had a down year because of the talent he had around him at North Carolina, but I think he's so talented. But I don't think teams are going to take him that high. So I think they're going to take tackle. I think that there's a possibility they commit. Actually, I could very well see them not having this pick. They could trade for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson or something along the lines of that. Maybe Aaron Rodgers or something like that. But I'm going to say if they have this pick, I'm going to say they take tackle, maybe run with Darnold again, because I don't know if there's anyone better than Darnold right now, so maybe just wait till next year where you can make a run at Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, something like that. So I'm going to say they take Charles Cross. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then the Giants are just going to take Trevor Penning. Those two could flip-flop whatever the team's preference is. Now here's also an interesting pick. Tackle's obviously not worth it here. If they're interested in taking a tackle, then they could maybe trade up with a team like Houston if Houston doesn't want Kyle Hamilton. But I realistically think they could trade out of this if this is the situation that they're in. I mean, edge is very. I like George Karlaftis. He could definitely play here. They would have loved Kyle Hamilton. Obviously not, and the safety class is not great for this high. I don't like interior defensive line this high. The wide receiver, I don't think they. I mean, not really. They could. I mean, they really could because Calvin really could be traded. Not interior offensive line, so I'm gonna go edge here. I'm gonna go with Karlaftis. I think that just makes the most sense out of all of this. Now we're here at Denver, who very well could not have this pick. I mean, we know that they're interested in a lot of older quarterbacks, but I think that with their team, if they have this pick, I think they have to go quarterback. And I'm looking at this board. Yes, I said Sam Howell's my favorite, but I don't think they're going to take him. I think they're going to take the guy that has the highest potential, the highest ceiling, the guy that could be literally boom or bust. I think they're going to take Malik Willis. I like his scramble ability, his ability to throw the ball, but he has a little bit of accuracy issues at times. He makes some poor decisions, but I overall think he's a very, very good player. Over here at the Jets, I think they're going to have to go best player available. Obviously, the edge class, Jermaine Johnson, I think is a little overrated for an 8th best player. I think he's a little early at 8. Ajabo's my next favorite edge after the guys that have already been taken. I don't think he's worthy at 10. Corner, Stingley's available. I think that just makes way too much sense. So I'm going to say they take Derek Stingley. Very, very talented. Who knows? He did take a year off, so who knows? But Derek Stingley is very, very, very good. Now here, this is the question for me. Quarterback is very possible. But there's been reports, they're interested in Jimmy Garoppolo, stuff like, maybe they make a run at Teddy Bridgewater, maybe Jameis Winston. They could make a run at some of these guys. So I don't think they're going to take quarterback. If they were to take quarterback, I'll say right now, if they're going to take quarterback, I would probably say Pickett, Corral, or Howell. Those would make the most sense to me. But I think they're going to go, corner. I think Sauce Gardner, Ahmad Gardner, he's so good, so talented for Cincinnati. He's very, very, very good corner. I think corner group is pretty good throughout the draft, but I think Sauce Gardner separates himself from the other guys. Obviously, him and Stingley are up the top, but very, very good corner. I just think that makes a lot of sense, but I would not be surprised. I think for me, it's either quarterback or corner and maybe wide receiver. You could see wide receiver because they kind of do need someone to match with the Terry McLaurin. So now the Vikings get here, and obviously safety is not a good spot for them. They could go Jordan Davis. That is something that does intrigue me. It is a possible pick, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of interior defensive line this early. If you want Jordan Davis, maybe trade back a little bit. I could see that. I don't know how teams value him and value the position. But I'm gonna go with corner too. I think they could use help in the secondary. I think Andrew Booth Jr. is a very, very good corner out of Clemson. And that would not surprise me a pick at all. So here. Now, this is a possible Jordan Davis spot, but I love the idea of Devin Lloyd and Jock from last year, JOK, playing linebacker together. I love that idea, especially in that 4-3 defense. Devin Lloyd would dominate the middle. He is a sideline linebacker. He's so talented. Him and Nakobe Dean are toss-ups for me. They're both very, 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 very good. But I just like Devin Lloyd just a little bit more here. Now, I could also see Jordan Davis here, especially if Calais Campbell's gone, which we've been hearing, he is going to be a free agent, so who knows, Calais Campbell might be gone, which Jordan Davis does make sense here if that's the case. But if you also look at it, there's also some good edge guys. I like David Ajabo here. He's a very, very, very good edge. Now, we're looking here at the Eagles. Eagles have back-to-back picks, so I'm just going to run Jermaine Johnson. Think that's the next best edge off the class. They need some more pressure on defense, and then I'm going to go with another defensive pick, and I think Nakobe Dean goes here. It's just they could really stout that defense up and maybe, improve maybe the offense later down the line a little bit. So they also do have that, pick 19, so that'll be their third first round. But here we go at the Chargers, okay? I think they need to protect Herbert. We've seen Herbert run around a lot. We know they have Rashawn Slater playing left tackle. So Daniel Falele, I think he's the best right tackle right now, so I think that makes the most sense. I think they're going to take him at 17. He is the he's supposed to be a right tackle better than the other two, but I like these guys better. If you're comfortable bringing these two over as a right tackle, I like them better than him. But he is a right tackle, so I think he'll go a little bit earlier. Now here, I think we're gonna go wide receiver here, and they can take their pick. I would originally you would have said Jameson Williams. I think he would have even went earlier. You would have maybe seen him at Philly, but with the torn ACL, I don't know if a team's gonna take that right away. So I'm looking like, what can I see? Who matches well with Michael Thomas? I'm gonna say Garrett Wilson. I think he would match really, really well in that system. You could see a lot of movement between those two, and I think that gives the Saints, two very, very good receivers for whoever's gonna play quarterback for them next year. Now you're looking at the Eagles, right? Corner is very, very possible here, and I think they could definitely shore up that secondary. You could say wide receiver. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to commit to wide receiver here now. This wide receiver class is very, very good. Christian Watson is one of my favorite players. Calvin Austin is very, very good. George Pickens is a first-round talent if he's healthy. He's very, very good. Wan'Dale Robinson's very good. John Mechie, of course. There's a lot of good wide receivers. Even these guys, some of these guys are going to slip to the second round. There's just not enough teams that are going to need a wide receiver. So we might see some of these guys like Jahan Dotson or whatever slip. So we'll see, obviously. But there's going to be some guys that are going to slip to the second round, and these guys down here are very, very good as well. So I'm going to say they take corner. Because there's some really, really good corners left. And I think Trent McDuffie makes the most sense for them. He's just a very, very talented corner out of Washington. He has a teammate, Kyler Gordon, who's very, very good as well. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. So here we go with the Steelers. Now, quarterback is possible, and I think Pickett makes a lot of sense. They have the ability to, check it out. Obviously, they both in Pittsburgh, so Pickett, it makes the most sense for me at quarterback. But there's also been reports that Malik Willis is their favorite. And if they want Malik Willis, they might trade up, so they might not be here. But if they're here and pick, I don't know. I'm going to say that they don't take quarterback. I'm going to say they maybe go for Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo, something like that. Maybe, of course, they're still in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Maybe Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, whatever. So I'm going to say that they're gonna sign someone in like a Mariota or Jameis Winston or maybe a Garoppolo, trade for Garoppolo. So I'm gonna say they go Tyler Linderbaum. He can help the offensive line. He's so talented at center. He's so good, and I think that could really help their offensive line. They're gonna obviously have to continue to draft offensive line because their offensive line is very young and needs some more pieces. But I like Linderbaum in the first round. Now we go to the Patriots. Obviously, they have some spots. I would have loved a linebacker here. I think it's a little early for Christian Harris, but he's very good. It's very possible. Also, Quay Walker, I really, really like him as well. But I think it's a little bit early. They could trade back and go linebacker maybe. Corner is very possible. Roger McCreary out of Auburn. I love him. He had a very good Senior Bowl. People don't like his arm, his arm length, but I think he's very, very good at his position. I'm gonna go Roger McCreary. I think that makes the most sense for the Patriots. Now we get to the Raiders, and I think this is where Jordan Davis goes. He slipped along far for me, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Just for positional value, they're in the later, in the early 20s, and I think that just makes a lot of sense for them. They're going to hopefully be able to stop the run. So I really like Jordan Davis, and he had a very, very good national championship game. So now we go to Arizona, and obviously Arizona does need some corner help. The question is, where would we go? Now, Kyler Gordon is an option. I really like Kyler Gordon, but I think I like Kaiir Elam a little bit more. He's a very good corner out of Florida. I think I like him to match with the rest of the secondary they already have there. Now, Dallas, they're in an interesting spot because we know DeMarcus Lawrence, we know Micah Parsons. The question is, what are they going to do with Micah Parsons? They obviously could move Micah Parsons back to linebacker. I don't think they will. They're going to keep him at edge. But I think DeMarcus Lawrence is getting up in age. He's injured all the time. I think Trayvon Walker makes the most sense for them to draft right here. He's a very talented edge out of Georgia. I think that makes a lot of sense for them because they can get pressure. They can cause issues. They can help their secondary out. So here in Buffalo, I think Buffalo's going to go interior offensive line. I think they go Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. Very, very good guard. Makes a lot of sense for them. I think that with the power game and what they did at the end of the season, run the ball more with Devin Singletary, I think, and we could possibly even see them draft a running back or pursue one in free agency. I think drafting someone in the interior offensive line, running more powers and stuff, can really help them. Now we're getting to Tennessee, and I think Tennessee, John Robinson, the GM for the Titans, has been known to take players coming off of injury. I think Jameson Williams with his torn ACL out of Alabama makes so much sense for Tennessee. Linebacker does not make sense because they just got Zach Cunningham. They had David Long, who had 2 very good years. I think tight end's a very big need, but I don't think anyone's first round worthy for me. Obviously, they can always improve on corner, but I don't know if they're going to take one right here. I think they need help offensively, and I think Jameson Williams with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones would make so much sense. That offense could really help out Tannehill, and I think we're going to go on a little bit of a wide receiver run. I think Tampa is going to go Chris Olave. I think he's going to fill that, what's his name? Chris Godwin role. I think Chris Godwin's going to go get Chase money bag, and I think that Chris Olave could fit that role perfectly for for Tampa. I love Chris Olave for them. Now, here's very interesting. I think if Aaron Rodgers stays, I very, very, very well could see wide receiver here, because obviously we saw what they did in the playoffs. The 49ers just bracketed Devontae Adams, and then no one else can make a play. Obviously, they have some salary cap issues, so this can change after they cut some players and stuff like that for free agency. But I'm going to say they go wide receiver. I'm going to say they go Treylon Burks. I think Treylon Burks reminds me so much of A.J. Brown. He could fit that wide receiver 2 role perfectly for Green Bay if Aaron Rodgers stays. I think that's a great pick right there. Now, Miami. I think Miami needs to continue to protect Tua. And Bernhard Raimann out of Austria is very, very talented. A little bit raw, but he could develop nicely into a great offensive tackle for them. Makes a lot of sense for me. Now, the Chiefs. For the Chiefs, I said all year that I felt that they needed a big body receiver. Yes, they could go Jahan Dotson with the speed, right? They could maybe, trade back, go second round John Mechie, of course. I think Drake London out of USC, big body receiver, very, very, very talented, could put them over the top. That can give them a bigger threat. Another thing to worry about, it's not just speed all over the field. I like Drake London for them. Obviously, here, the Bengals have to go offensive line, and they're going to a Nicholas Petit-Free out of Ohio State. It makes a lot of sense. They have to protect Burrow. I would not be like genuinely, I would draft offensive line majority of this draft because they need it so bad, obviously, all over the line. Now here, I think the Lions are in a very good spot. They could draft whoever they like. There's a lot of things. There's good wide receiver Jahan Dotson, David Bell at wide receiver. Okay, you have the likes of Christian Harris. Christian Harris and Quay Walker could both go here. They can go corner when Kyler Gordon, Tariq Woolen. They're both very, very good corners. There's a lot of options here for them. Okay, but I think my favorite quarterback, Sam Howell, makes so much sense here for the Lions. He can sit back for a year, learn and develop. They can continue to build. They have a lot of picks. They can continue to build around them, draft players, help the offensive line, get more wide receivers. And we saw what they did this year. They made some moves. They looked all right at times. Obviously, Jared Goff hurt them a little bit. Amon-Ra St. Brown stepped up as a massive player for them. He looks very good. I think they could. I think this is the perfect time for them. I think Sam Howell falls into their lap. I think he's the best quarterback. He's my favorite quarterback. I'm going to go Sam Howell to the Lions, and that is my mock draft. Please let me know what you guys think in the description. Or in the comments. Let me know who your favorite team is and what you think they should draft and what do you guys disagree with. And I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.